Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. So happy to be with you here on a Monday. We're back. Had a nice weekend away with the fam, and I hope you guys had a good time as well. I'm so happy also because I'm here with It's Kim. How you doing, Kim?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
It was funny. I saw a tweet that was like, Andy Lewis, I haven't seen any videos. Where are you? I miss you. I'm having withdrawal. And I was like, oh my God, I'm having a weekend. I take them once in a while. I do. Once in a while, I try to have some time.
It does happen from time to time.
Yep, sometime. And I do try to take a week or two off here and from there just to get down because it's a lot of energy to do all this. So thanks for waiting for me. I hope you guys all had your own wonderful weekends and time. But we are back. We're here live, and we are here to, I guess, end a rumor that we...
Yeah.
I called it first, Kim, just to be clear. The video this morning already called out this rumor for what it was, which was a rumor. It's amazing how many of you guys just... Please stop sending me over and over again the same thing over and over again. It's like, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? I see it all. I promise. It'll get to me. But so many of you guys sent me this one. And so this was starting to get all over. A lot of mainstream outlets were starting to join it. Now, I want to be clear. I want to be clear again. I'm going to repeat myself here, Kim. I hope this is true, right? Mm-hmm. I want this to be true. I think it's very possible this could be true. And I love seeing the mainstream media actually report that he's getting back with this huge deal. Look, this isn't far-fetched at all. The only thing that was far-fetched was the source. Look at the source. No, I don't know these people from Adam, but guys, this is not a reputable site. So you got to take it with a grain of salt.
We don't know her. Like, yeah, I've never heard of these people before today. Ever.
You don't have to send me things to confirm it yourself. Like, I want you all, I'm trying to help you all get better at this, right? To become Planeteers. To know when a story has legs or not. Or where you're like, you know what, Andy, I can't find the source to this. This one might be quite, then maybe we go there. But if you really looked, it wasn't hard to find the source of this. And the source of this, it came from June 7th, 2022. This was a while ago. This is the same source that said he's going to be Gomez in the Addams Family, which also proved to be false. He's not. That show has already been revealed. It's called Wednesday, first of all. It's been called that for a while, so that should have been red flag number one. And yeah, look, this is not a real source. Now, why are they making this up? Where's this coming from? Good questions we can ask and we'll go through. But E! News, which I also don't really trust that far either. Now they are saying Johnny Depp's team has responded to the report that he's coming back. So now we apparently have the definitive truth to this question. Is he coming back? Well, here's what they said. A representative for the actor told NBC News, this is made up. I told you so.
Debunked.
I told you so.
Debunked.
I told you so. Now, look, that's what we try to do here so that we can get that ahead of it, and we did. At the same time, like, I don't know, is this even real, Kim? I don't even know anymore. Who's being honest? Who's really Johnny's rep? This isn't like it's on him saying on an Instagram, so I almost like unless I hear it directly from the man on his socials or someone's actually quoting themselves as his rep and with a name and title in said studio, place or whatever, which I don't see him talking to Variety or Deadline or any of those punks anytime soon, given how they treated him biasly. It was awful the way they treated him throughout that trial. But until I see someone actually putting their name to it, it's all grain with salt. And so I've reached out to my own sources trying to get information. I haven't heard back. So I don't know what the truth to any of this is. All I know is this isn't that far-fetched. I mean, it's a lot of money. I don't see Disney doing that much this quick because Disney never does that. Disney hates to admit they're wrong. Like, it took James Gunn how long to get him back into the good graces of Disney? It took the whole cast publicly calling them out. It took him getting offers at other places. And then eventually Disney was like, crap, we need him back. And this was all stuff that it's so hard to prove Disney wrong and get the good graces. Now, do I think Johnny could? Absolutely. But I do think it's going to take a little bit of time for people to sort of move on and accept the win and then see what happens. And right now it seems like Johnny's not even worried about any of this stuff. He's doing an amazing tours, going out there. He seems happy. It's great. I love that this story is out there, I'll be honest, because I want this story to be real and I want positive press to help him move on. But come on, guys. This source was not on the up and up to let this get as big as it was. Like I said in my first video, slow news Monday. But the fact that now we're hearing another rep of Johnny's confirmed today, this afternoon, literally right before we went. I was like, all right, well, let's have this, I guess, as our conversation. This is made up. Who is the source? Who is the representative for the actor is really what I want to know. A representative for the actor told NBC News this is made up. I want to get more into the clear of who is the representative for the actor. Who's confirming things for us? Because I'd like to know that person so I can make sure that I can say, oh, yes, okay, well, this person said it, then yes, we know it's accurate. Because to me, Kim, this looks like more spin, if anything. And why even address it is where I'm at. Because this is good press for Johnny. This is good press for Johnny. And whether the source is right or wrong, if I'm Team Johnny, I ignore this and be like, yeah, I'm not saying anything whether this is right or wrong because this is good news. And who knows if it is. Like, Johnny could be in negotiations with Disney behind a lot of his own reps' backs anyway, right? This is such a hard thing to prove. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this when you see everybody and now see reps speaking on his behalf? Do you trust any of it?
No, because, I mean, I looked at this immediately and I just thought it's so ridiculous. I feel like everybody holds on to this whole like 300 million and a bunch of alpacas thing way too tightly. Like they think that is what it's going to take. And I think obviously Johnny was kidding. It was a joke, but his point was that it's going to take Disney doing something dramatic for him to come back. So I hope they do work it out. I hope Disney does do the right thing. And I mean, the same thing with Warner Brothers. I hope they do the right thing and, stick to, be consistent in the sense of that if he was not proven guilty, why is he being punished? This is ridiculous. It's time to let it go and move on. And he wants to move on with his life. But I don't think any of this is going to be believable until we have something from the studio directly saying that something's happening. And I also have the feeling that Johnny is going to tell us. I mean, he's been not like super active, but anything that he's really wanted to say to his fans as well as the public, he has said himself, whether it be on Instagram or on TikTok. So those would be the places that I would be watching for anything concrete. But until then, I think so much of it is people just will say anything right now because it gets clicks.
Yep.
And they're going to push it as far as they can because for some reason, everyone is still so obsessed with this case and everything surrounding it. So they're going to make something out of nothing every day because people will click on it. I don't think this is the last crap we're going to see.
No, it doesn't make the last crap. I mean, and I'm trying to figure like, well, where's this coming from? And then it's like, I try to think like, who's out there still trying to fight all this? And then I saw, I hate to use her name either. I don't even want to give her name. But this one's Kim. This one. Billy Joel Armstrong of Green Day is allegedly renouncing his U.S. citizenship over Rover's Wade, and yet his bandmate Mike Dirnt recently unfollowed me over my support for Amber Heard. To make it make sense, I'd like you to make this tweet make sense. What the hell does the one have to do with the other? Like, talk about someone who's unable to move on. Talk about someone who's really clearly out there every chance they can to just, to Johnny. It's like, what? Like... They said, what? Eve Barlow, what are you even saying here? Like, what is, Kim, what is on earth? First of all, she's talking about Billy Joe Armstrong. Then she somehow is going to compare the actions to his bandmate as if, like, they should have the same exact thoughts, Kim, because they're the same person, apparently. And then it's going to be like, well, it's about Roe v. Wade and Amber. How on earth are these things connected? Talk about make it make sense. Now she's using our own phrase. It's like she's clearly watching because we say that phrase. I should have had my shirt on today. That's literally a shirt we sell. And Eve's now trying to make it make... No, you don't get to make anything make sense, Eve. You know what makes sense? Makes sense the fact that your girl and you are letting this PR guy who has his own drama, which, I mean, I don't know the truth, right?
We don't.
I don't want to be... But this is a weird look. This is a weird look for all the things you claim to be above it all, everything else. And yet, oh yeah, we got this guy still out there taking pictures of us at fish markets. And, but yeah, you're the better person, Eve. Always the better person. My God, I can't stand these people. I can't stand these people. And I do want to move on, but sometimes I need to rant, Kim, because I see a tweet like this and I can't make it make sense. These people make no sense. So then it's like, did they leak this? Are they out there trying to make it seem like Johnny's winning and see Amber's losing? And I don't even know anymore. It's impossible to know. It's so hard to wade through all this because they're all just trying to get a win out of the loss. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think we're going to understand Eve Barlow. And I mean, no, I have no ill will towards her. I want her to be able to live her life. Don't bother her. Just leave her be. But it just seems like Amber doesn't do anything wrong in her eyes ever. And that for me is always a bit of a red flag.
That woman whose name we will not say.
I'm sorry. That woman never does anything wrong. And she is so fiercely in defense of her over absolutely everything. And it's very sad. It's very sad. I hope she's going to be okay in the end. Because
I've lost interest in either of their well-beings at this point. They've gone too far for me to care about their
well-beings.
Nice. But Kim is the better person. Kim is absolutely better than I will admit it on that regard.
But if you're so obsessed with something and you will just take anything and try to make it relate to whatever it is because you want to keep talking about it, it's like you need to, take a lesson from Disney, be like Elsa, let it go. We all need to move on.
And if you really want to make it make sense, you just scroll on down and there it is. You can get your own Make It Make Sense shirt over on our store and really shove it to Eve and all of them because they definitely don't make it make sense. But Kim, I can't make it make sense.
It won't. It will never make sense.
But again, I'm trying to be better here and not keep saying their names, but I'll call them out when we got to call them out. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm not going to report on it if we need to report on it. I'm just trying to be the better person here and not continue to kick a dead horse. They lost. Mm-hmm. They're saying nothing. However, I'm pivoting back to sort of the story here. Like, if this quote is true and this is made up, there's a part of me that's like, is he defying Disney? And in which case, yeah, you know what? Should he defy Disney? Is he defying Disney? Is this sort of a way where it's like, he's not going to accept that money? And Disney, who I do think needs him, they do. This is a huge franchise character for them. That's not like they can just put an Iron Man suit on him and just move on. It's Captain Jack Sparrow. It's Johnny Depp. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't do this character without Johnny Depp's blessing, especially now that he's won. Like, if he had lost the case, I could see maybe them trying to, like, pivot and casting Timothée Chalamet as young Jack Sparrow, which I would have vomited all over. But my point is they could have tried, and then people would have been like, see, he's disgraced X talent, whatever. But no, he won. So now they're in a pickle, right? Because they didn't want him to really win, I don't think. I think a lot of them were trying to just push him over the ledge, but he fought back, he climbed up, and he's standing proudly. To his credit, bravo. It's a huge thing he pulled off. And so, there's a part of me that thinks, you know what? F Disney. Don't give it to him. No matter how many alpacas or money they give, this is not a quick return. And while I want the pressure and I would love for him to make that choice, right? He should have the choice of whether he comes back or not. There is a part of me that's like, no, Johnny, you know what? Amen. You don't need them right now. You don't. You had the win. Yes, it would be sweet revenge and justice to properly get that character back, especially for the $301 million, which is no way Disney's that going to pay that much money. They will not part with that much money for anybody. I don't think they'll pay that much money, but I think there is a level here, something that I think is so important when you look at Pirates of the Caribbean itself, is that was one of those rides at Disneyland that Walt designed and was very heavily involved with. And then for them to take the step to make the film franchise and then to take the step to even put Johnny in the ride. Yep. I mean, and then having his face projected on the castle and all those other types of things. Johnny has now basically come in to this whole thing. He is now synonymous with one of Walt's babies. And if they want to make this right, they're going to have to pay for it. And when it comes to the legacy of Walt Disney, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I think they're going to have to do some stuff that's going to make them uncomfortable. Yeah, hi, and Steph, welcome, Steph, the alternate, as we've just been gearing up. We were sharing updates and sort of where now that Johnny's rep has seemingly, whoever this rep is, I don't even know anymore who to trust and who's telling us what's really happening, but this rumor that we covered this morning, first, you guys, that's why you make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts because you'll get notified first because, we called it out and exposed this article for what it was earlier. But that said, like, I support this article and that I want these types of articles to come out about Johnny. I do believe he can get these opportunities. He's going to, and he deserves them after everything he's been through. So it's a catch-22 of like, is this true? I don't trust the source, but is this possible? Absolutely. It's absolutely possible. And it's great to see the media, jump on this, but where I'm confused is why the rep who is this rep to NBC? Who speaks on behalf of Johnny? I don't even know anymore. Now I'm confused, but they're saying it's made up, seemingly confirming to E! and NBC that no, it's not happening. But it all just sort of came back to this whole idea of, maybe that is a real statement, and maybe he is defying Disney in a way of saying no. This is made up. We're not going to give Disney that win. They don't deserve it yet. You know what I mean, Steph? What are your thoughts on all this?
My thoughts on this is that if, and it's a big if Disney is wanting Johnny Depp to return, it's going to be more than 300 million. They make absolute billions around the world off of the merchandising, the IP, the image of Captain Jack Sparrow, i.e. pretty much Johnny Depp, right? 300 million to me seems a little bit like a lowball. However, do I believe that Disney at least is considering taking Johnny back for Captain Jack Sparrow for Pirates of the Caribbean? Hell freaking yeah. Hell freaking yeah. Because when it comes down to it, I've said it before and I'll say it again. When it comes to industry and Hollywood, one thing I've learned from you guys, from you and Lewis at Nerd Report, up Lewis, is that Hollywood will go where the money is.
Yep.
And oh my goodness, does Disney understand that the money, when it comes to Pirates franchise, is with Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp? Otherwise, why have the whole projection of his image on the castle and him being centre stage, this, that, and the other? Won't make sense unless they knew that the character, the IP, was extremely valuable. And now this trial is over, and now Johnny Depp has overwhelmingly won against she who must not be named. Come on. There's got to be some top execs, some top bosses at Disney now even contemplating, well, hang on a minute. I think we should maybe get him back now. Because he's being vindicated in the court, so we can get him back. There's got to be some rumblings. Otherwise, where is this coming from in the first place?
Yeah,
in a way.
It's also just weird. Well said, and welcome, Lewis. It's also weird for me because it's like, why even give a comment? Like, that's where part of me doesn't even believe this comment, because this is this type of news is good for Johnny. And I want more news like this. And the reality is, there's like 3 people who would even know if this was true. Like Jerry Bruckheimer, Johnny, and like the head of Disney. And so like anybody sort of quoting on all this to me is almost out of line in the first place, because I believe Jerry and Johnny are going to work it out at some point. Jerry's made it very clear. He's not made a decision. Because I get it in Jerry's point of view. He's got to play both sides. He's got a lot of movies. He sort of needs to see where things net out. But I'm hoping and guessing here, they're going to work out a deal at some point. But the question is, should Johnny even do it? Does Disney deserve him? Is sort of an interesting debate. I'm still on the fence. I need more time. It's really ultimately Johnny's call. But to me, if Johnny shows up in these movies, well, then he must have gotten what he needed to feel okay about it. You know what I mean? And until then, I'm sort of like, no, they shouldn't get to do any more Pirates and keep making money. Like you said, Steph, they've made billions off of it. And they made billions. Granted, Gore Verbinski, Jerry, there were a lot of people who worked on that film that helped make it fun. But it was Captain Jack Sparrow that made that series a series, without a doubt. Yeah, I think anybody involved would realize he took it next level. Instead of being a fun movie, he made it the blockbuster phenomenon that it was, and we wanted to see him. And so, yeah, they owe him a lot. And so for that, and to be fair, I haven't seen them turn yet. Until they actually make that movie without him, there's still time to fix this, right? There's still time to fix this. They haven't made the movie yet, so I hope Disney continues to woo and try to. I hope some of this is accurate. While the alleged source is saying it's made up, I still hope this is the case, and I think it could be the case. Lewis, I want to get your thoughts as our Nerd Report expert here. What do you think the reality is here? Now, this is from a non-site pop. I don't believe this source knows what they're talking about here. However, this NBC source saying this is made up seems a little bit more legit. How do you take all this?
Man, this is a very difficult topic to cover, because it's really providing the news we all want to hear, and to come in here and be the person that brings in, there's a saying, don't shoot the messenger. And it's like, I do not believe first of all, like, there's inaccuracies in the story. I read the original source, never heard of them. $300 million, no way. Not for just a movie, maybe merchandising cut after like the longevity of the film. I think Johnny Depp's made more than that with all the films, but 300 million. Panel, I'm going to ask you this. Listen, movies got to make like 4 times what it costs. You give your one actor 300 million. Where's your budget for your other actors? Let's say they get in the other actors for 20 million. That's $320 million. Then you got to shoot a movie for at least $200 million. You're already at 520. Then you got to market it 620. You're talking Avengers Endgame money, way more than that to produce. And then you got to make 4 times that. It's not going to happen. I mean, I know a lot of people probably in the chat, I can't see them, but they're probably upset that we're bringing this news, or that's our opinion. But I mean, I'm like 99% sure Johnny Depp's going to return for a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but not right now, and not like this. That's my take of it. And I know there's a lot of new people coming in to listen and to watch our channels. It's Kim, Steph, and Andy. We've been covering films even longer than this, right? Than we've been covering the Depp story. And there's these sites that pop up and they share fake news, and they are very effective at it. And we're getting the crowd that's a Johnny Depp supporter with Amber Heard. They're new to this. A lot of them are new to this type of stuff, and they're falling for it. I'm telling you right now, don't fall for it. I would say stick to Popcorn Planet and our crew. We kind of we think of the future. We're from the school that if we get something wrong, we get hit, we get slapped for it, basically. These other sites get rewarded for it. Sorry, I don't think this is legit. Is it going to happen? I think so, but not now.
Yeah, I think well said. It's just the reality of what this would cost. It's just not the number is in itself sort of a giveaway, like a red flag. And that's not disrespect to Johnny. That's like no actor makes that much money. And Disney is notorious for being cheap and for being careful. And I just can't see them making such a big dollar amount commitment up front when they don't even know if this, will pay them back. They might be more positive towards Johnny right now, but I think it takes the Pirates movie bombing without him, then maybe they come back around. Well, we clearly need him, but at that point, then I would say F Disney, don't ever come back. If they do this without his blessing and make a new one, then I'm done with the Pirates movies. If they really do make the Margot Robbie one where they try to make a new Jack Sparrow, good luck. Good luck. I have no interest. Those movies got really silly and stupid. The only reason I went to see them was for Johnny Depp. Like, he was the fun, as you sort of said, the Looney Tunes escapades in like 1 and 2 are what made those movies fun for me. Not all the weird, crazy plot that like who's tricking who. I couldn't even tell you the plot of Pirates. If you put me onto my feet to the fire, I'd be like, who's that character and what happened? I just remember the fun stuff with Johnny, Jeffrey Rush, Orlando Bloom. It was a fun swashbuckling adventure, and that's what we wanted. But then it became a really weird narrative with the story, and people lost interest. Well, they came because of him. Kim, do you disagree? Yeah.
I was gonna say that's kind of like where I've been thinking is that when I look at that 300 million, a few of the people who are putting this as a rumor are saying that it's not only a film deal, but it's also a Disney Plus deal of a series afterwards. And my other question would be, one of the things that Johnny talked about was that he did so much of the writing basically for Jack Sparrow himself. He wrote that character for the most part. And I wonder if the $300 million deal would more include him not only being an actor in potentially multiple films as well as the Disney Plus series, but also have him as a production and as a writer credit on it finally, and giving him that freedom. Because as he was not able to do all of that, that was when the movies kind of went less popular. Mm-hmm. And my question would be, if he was given that creative control, would people be more interested?
You're talking about a multi-picture deal. That's
it could be, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not going to give him that kind of control. No freaking
yet.
way. No.
That's a great way to apologize, though.
It would be, but 300 mil, even better, I would say. I'd take the money, but no, that 300 mil ain't just for Pirate 6. It is a multi kind of movie role, and now with the dawn of Disney Plus, probably Disney Plus. I wouldn't say series, but let's say like cameos at the very least. Let's put it that way. And that 300 mil as well could include, it'll be up to 300 mil as long as you take, it might include like bonuses in that as well. So like the base might be, let's say 200 mil, and then the extra 100 mil on top may be bonuses that he may achieve if it hits certain markers, maybe.
No, I mean, there's no way to justify this cost. I don't buy it for a second, even with a Disney Plus show. And that's they're talking about a young Jack Sparrow show. He wouldn't even be in that, guys. He's too old for it right now.
Won't.
He's not going to take time to go
cameo.
do some Disney Plus show. He doesn't. You think Johnny Depp is going to go give Disney not only another movie? Oh yeah, but let's do a Disney Plus show. Disney Plus shows are turning into complete train wrecks.
Oh yeah, they're not.
That's a whole other topic. I will go down with you, Lewis, and we'll talk about it. But talk
My
about
other
quality
question-
dips. It's a problem,
Yeah.
but I don't see Johnny Depp signing up for that right now, and he shouldn't. Do something better. I'd rather him go back to his roots and do some good indie films, or get back with Tim Burton and do some creative choices. Hell, let's do that movie about
A24, man.
Well, no, but sorry, I just spaced the song he did, the Miss Hedy Lamour. Like, I'd love him to do a biopic about her, like produce it and get in there somehow. Let's do something cool that he really is passionate about, in my mind, and let those wins happen, and then come back in some big tentpole way later. Which I think he'll have those opportunities. To me, is a better move. I don't. While it would be a nice win to get Jack Sparrow back, I hope he continues to defy Disney and not give it to him, because it's a sore thumb with Disney right now that they didn't treat him fairly. They need to earn his respect back. And to me, until they do that, I'm done with this franchise and I refuse to support it. And so until Johnny gives us the A-OK, I say, no thanks, Disney. No more Jack Sparrow. No more pirates. Move on and do something else, because you don't get the rights to exploit him any further. Oh my God, what a show that was. We had so much fun with Steph, with Kim, with Lewis, with Pascal. We went through frozen ketchup, ice popsicles, the Gabby Petitio movie on Lifetime. What the heck is that? Oh, and you're not going to miss Alien Dude, and so much more on the members only replay. So if you missed it live, hit the join button, hit that button, pick a level, and then select your tier, and then hit the join. You'll become a member of Popcorn Planet. You'll be able to watch the full stream, including more of our discussion about Johnny, should he come back to Pirates, etc., and so much more. Make sure you subscribe over to It's Kim, Steph the Alternate, the Pascal Show, and Lewis over at Nerd Report. Hit the subscribe button if you can't hit the join. At least hit subscribe, and then hit that bell and smash the like button. Hit the all alerts, leave a comment, all that jazz. We will redirect you over to Lewis's Nerd Report, but if you didn't get there, search Nerd Report. He'll be live next, taking your calls. Always happy to send you over there. And if you didn't go live,